Hi everybody, welcome to Computer Science 110. Because we have a snow day today, I just want to give you a quick overview of Blackboard. I tried to do it while we were in the Blackboard Collaborate, but I couldn't figure out how to get the recording afterwards, so here it is. First of all, make note of my email address, and if you want to set up an appointment with me, you can book right into my calendar here. This is what it's for, please use it. I've also given you my text number, and you can use that also. You can also call it, but um, I will respond to text more often, usually quicker. Feel free to call and leave a message on that number too. It actually gets translated sometimes really funnily as text. This is Blackboard. If you've never been to Blackboard, you can get there most quickly by going to blackboard.smccme.edu, or if you happen to be in the portal, like here I am inside MySMCC. Over here on the right-hand side of MySMCC is a link to Blackboard, so you can click that too, and it will take you to Blackboard. So inside, our course is listed, and then this is the home page. If you haven't read the syllabus that I posted in an email previously, you can click here to read the syllabus. The most important parts are my contact information here at the top, and then if you go down, you can see some things about the attendance policy, late assignments. You can hand in things late. You get 5 points off per day. You also get 2 hand-ins for all projects, and you get an average of those 2 hand-ins. So there's more details about that when you start the project handout. You'll open up the project handout for project 1, and it will have all those instructions and that information for you there. So don't stress about memorizing it from the syllabus. For the exams, there's 2 exams in this class plus a final. On all of those exams, you're allowed to have a sheet of paper with you that has whatever notes you want on it. So I hope that will be helpful. Students find it helpful to make those make up those things ahead of time. There's a lot of programming assignments, but we've kind of front load them. There's a lot week by week in the first few weeks, and then near the end of the semester we start spacing the projects out a bit so you have a little more time to complete them as they get more complex. I think I forgot I think we're down to 10 projects, or perhaps 9. I think I forgot to update this, but I'm not totally sure. Okay, text tools or supplies. This is our textbook. It's free, but if you want a print copy, buy the one in the bookstore or buy one online from O'Reilly, used or new. It's about the same price you would pay per page to print it anyway, and it'll be nicer. So that's my recommendation. If you have anything from the ADA office, make sure I have it so I know what it is. And then there's some other stuff that you see on all the syllabi about the printing policies and so forth. This is add drop week right now, so if you want to drop, do it now. You have up until Tuesday at I think 5 p.m. to drop, and then you can withdraw from the class anytime during this semester up to a certain date, which I will remind you of later when it's more important. But you won't be able to get your money back if you drop after the add drop period. It's somewhat true. You get I always have to look this up because I forget. I think you get a 50% refund through day 10 of the class, and then after that it just drops off and you don't get a refund. So that's how add drop works. At the very bottom I sent an announcement about this, but I'll just say this again. This says basically, if I were to boil this down into a couple of sentences, don't copy other people's work because then you will flunk because you won't be able to pass the tests. So it's totally fine to talk about your code and to look at other people's code for guidance and to point things out in other people's code and to have lots of discussions about it. We don't what we don't want you to do is to copy somebody else's code and hand it in as your own code. It's hard to explain to people who are not programmers, but when I look through code, it's like reading English to me. Like, even though these programs are very simple, no 2 people are really going to hand in a program that's exactly the same as another person. So when I do sort of remember them as I go through, even though I see a lot of them. So, you know, I hate cheating because it takes me a lot of time to sort of handle it, and it's bad for you too because then you don't learn the material. So we want to make sure that you know the material. If you feel like you're falling behind, there's tutoring. You can talk to me. You can text me anytime. There's nothing bad about feeling like you need help. Just ask for it. We are totally always here ready to help you. So that is the syllabus. What you should do this week, go right down to the weekly content where it says every week go here and click that thing that says weekly content, and then scroll down a bit till you see the week 1. We'll introduce ourselves in class, so it's not really important to me that you introduce yourself in the discussion board, but I do want you to complete the lab, and the project is due on Tuesday. So there's a bunch of videos that you'll see. If you're working at home, which many of you will be, go and click some of the links for installing Java and JEdit and start downloading and installing the software you're going to need to use, and then start working through the videos. Every week you'll see a whole bunch of videos that go with the content. You'll see a lab handout, so you can click this to go to the lab. Each lab has attached to it a PDF, which is sometimes hard to see, but you look carefully for it. It's right under the due date. So you would click this and get to the lab handout, which looks like this. So this is a very straightforward lab, which just walks you through getting to know JEdit and writing your first program. Backing up from the lab by hitting the back button in the browser, I get back to where I was. And then there are some step-by-step videos that always go with the lab. At the bottom of each week, you'll see the project, which is due the following Tuesday. For a lot of weeks, you'll just know every Tuesday there's going to be a project due, and then near the end of the semester, you'll start having more weeks to do the project. So I hope that will answer some common questions. Here's an example template that you can save for later and use over and over again. If you have any questions, shoot me an email or send me a text. It's really easy to get in touch with me, and I'm looking forward to meeting you in person.